Welcome back, you guys. This is Tessindra, continuing my HOI4 Kaiserreich campaign as the United States of America. The Civil War that is gonna start has not started yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and unpause and see if we can get some progress, because we're still in the first, we're in the third month of the game. There goes the International Congress. We do not really care about that at all. Go away. I probably could do something with these units, but honestly, I think I could just tell them to drill. Right? I keep my army experience at least, don't I? That's something they can do. If I can get like 5 or 10 army experience, I can then modify some divisions once the war starts. That's always good. But then again, we're going to be fighting a lot during the war, so yeah, whatever, it's fine. Let's go to speed 5 and try to finish the start here. Okay. There is the reintroduction of the Garner-Wagner bill, which we're hoping to fail. And the Conclave is having a thing here. I imagine there's going to be a pop-up, so I'm going to wait a bit. It passed. Excuse me? What the fuck do I do with this? I was hoping for it to fail. How do I do this now? Wait, it says here MacArthur's plan. General MacArthur has raised a solid point. New York City and Texas are two of our most vital and vulnerable strongholds. MacArthur has a plan which could see one of these areas secured should the violence escalate to a full civil war. Okay, because I was worried that this thing was going to be how I get him in charge. But no, this is just his plan. Can I still form the PSA if the bill passes? I guess we will just find out, won't we? This is kind of awkward. Though the vote was incredibly close, the Garner-Wagner bill has passed Congress. People throughout the United States are celebrating this welcome relief to the country's disastrous economic situation, though many within the government are wondering, how will the bill now be paid for? So I get a lot of political power. I'm still in the negative. I get some base stability and I go positive. The Great Depression gets modified. Let's see here. It's 50%. It's 50, 40, 20, 40. So the 50 turns into 35. Okay, so the 40 construction speed goes to 20. Production efficiency. Oh, this is actually really, really good. Okay, so the bill passed. I'm going to bypass this. It's a 0-day thing there. Just to make sure, there's nothing else I can go for except for the Navy. Right. Okay, so now that the bill has passed, there were 2 options that I could go for. The Hawking Plan, which makes social liberals more popular. Okay. Demand repayment of war debts. The United Kingdom incurred an enormous war debt to us during the Weltkrieg. That debt has been inherited by Canada. While it is unlikely Canada could repay it right now, demanding repayment will appease isolationists in Congress, whom we believe will join the political fringe if not appeased. Okay, so we can do reconciliation, or we could do a tariff on them. So we get political power. Social liberals get more popular. I don't want to join the Entente, but getting them to help us would be kind of nice. What is this? The Hawking Plan. Okay. This is how I'm gonna pay for the bill, I guess. So, all of this is costing me political power, and it's gaining me a bunch of events that I don't know what do. I don't know what do. That's proper English right there. I don't want to piss off Canada right now. But then again, even if they say no, the only other option is I get 100 political power, which would be good. But I'm about to lose it over here. Let's just go for the Hawking plan. A junior Democratic senator has proposed a plan which would see the Gardner-Wagner bill funded by increased corporate income taxes. The plan is controversial with some, but it just might give the economy the boost it needs. Okay, let's try to fix the economy. I mean, it's embarrassing right now. Okay, so we dropped from 90% consumer goods to 75. That is beautiful. Okay, yeah, let's build more military factories if we can, please. Yeah, the stability is below 50%, so it's hurting our construction speed a lot. More America First Party members announcing congressional bids. While there have been a number of lawmakers from the America First Party in its brief life, particularly in the South, the 1936 elections represents an unprecedented number of people registering to run for office under the banner of the AFP, and just as many, if not more, nationwide pledging to vote for them. They're gaining political power. Is there a way for me to see this? Deal with the Great Depression. I should probably take a look at this. Will abort if does not pass. Okay. All of the following must be true. Has completed focus, demand repayment of war debts, and shipyard funding scheme. So I need to do this one and this one before I run out of time here. Yeah, we have plenty of time for that. And if I don't do this, the AFP and the SPA get a lot of political power. Greatly gains. This is interesting, I gotta say, but I was planning on going to as the PSA here. I don't know if I have a backup for that, but whatever. Stanley Cup, is that hockey? Yeah, I think it's hockey. We don't really care about that, do we? Yeah, NHL. Yeah, we don't care. This is the National Hockey League. Oh, they win and we get political power. Really? All right, go Detroit Red Wings. Congratulations. Huh. Interesting. America wins in hockey. That's weird. Oh, special election in New Jersey. Following Senator A. Harry Moore's resignation in order to run for governor, a special election has been called in New Jersey to select his replacement. The frontrunners are Democratic John Gerald Milton and AFP spokesman Charles Lindbergh. Polls have just closed and the winner appears to be... We're not going to go with this. Yeah. Democratic Party. We have to... I don't want the APF or the SPA here to get any traction at all. Ideally, I would like for the market liberals to rise up over here in the PSA, but that appears not to be happening. What's happening? The game is lagging? Oh, something happened maybe? Oh. This happened, I imagine. I imagine this happened. Okay. Concentrated. Yeah, we just need raw output. That's just as much as we can. We're going to have so many factories that we can run a lot of things at the same time. We don't really need the retention, as far as I know. Maybe? Yeah. And this is probably the same event, but for the SPA. Yeah, that's fine. So, the Soviet Civil War... Russian Civil War... Ooh. May Day, International Workers' Day, This is a holiday that this SPA celebrates with numerous parades and speeches and has since its founding. Generally, things are peaceful, though there have been confrontations with the police. However, this time, things are more violent than normal. Clashes between the socialists and the local police, backed up by the AFP, have occurred around the country. The question is, who is at fault? The socialists declare that things were peaceful till the police and the AFP goons arrived on the scene. The AFP is saying that the socialists began by assaulting ununionized workers and have blurry photos they claim are guns the SPA were brandishing. Yeah, fucked up. The police, the police fucked up. Sorry. We don't want the other dudes to get some traction there. I mean, we'll blame it on the cops, right? Okay. The Panamanians have begun a small-scale military assault on the Cota region of Costa Rica, which they have had a claim on for some time. We should threaten intervention to prevent this turning into full-scale war. Panama and Costa Rica. Do we care? They've got 2 troops and they've got 1. Let's just threaten them. We threaten intervention at least. Nominating Quinton Roosevelt. Since the nomination of Senator Olson as the presidential candidate, the politically minded have discussed with great interest the likely vice presidential candidate. Finally putting the rumors to rest, Quinton Roosevelt was announced as the VP for the coalition ticket yesterday in New York City. In his announcement, he emphasized wanting to help bring major reforms to the country through a plan called the Fair Deal. So it's not the New Deal, it's the Fair Deal. Though this plan was denounced by the SBA and the AFP as being nowhere near enough to help the average American. Economists believe that it may be enough to end the Depression. Cool. I get political power, and I'm back in the positive here. But it keeps going down. Yeah, we need to get the political crisis here fixed. Alright, on pause. So let's see what this hawking plan does. Panama backs down. Nice. After hearing of American support for Costa Rica and not willing to escalate the situation into a full-blown conflict, the forces of Panama have begun to back down across the region. This is a victory for American diplomacy abroad. We basically just threatened them with war. That's diplomacy for you. Junior Democratic Senator Thomas Hawking has introduced a bill which will see the relief efforts largely funded by taxing American corporations. In exchange for hefty tax considerations down the line. Once the economy has recovered, this has caused considerable controversy in some corners, especially among the AFP and the SBA supporters. Others say it would be far too easy for the next government to reverse the decision, leaving the corporations holding the bag and even worse off than they were before. Regardless, there is enough support to see the bill passed, and as an added bonus, the agency to coordinate the effort could be placed in either Minneapolis or in Charlotte, with the added bonus of new employment weakening what are AFP and SPA strongholds. Ooh, so I can... You are really, really weak right now. You're kind of strong. Charlotte, Minneapolis. This doesn't really concern me. I mean, one way or the other... Let's just go with Minneapolis. Minneapolis? Minneapolis. Okay, the new Industrial Act. We need to kickstart heavy industry in America's heartlands, where the Great Depression has hit the hardest. Sure, gladly. So I imagine once I do both of these things, the Great Depression will just be gone. I got troops. Why do I have troops? Oh, right, I was training one. I am technically training troops. I just forgot about it. Ooh, what is this? With violence and instability sweeping the country, the AFP and the SBA have begun to form various paramilitary militias, which they claim are necessary to protect the people. Yeah, of course. The AFP have called their group the Minutemen, while the SPA's the Red Guard, seen patrolling their strongholds and party rallies. These well-armed and equipped paramilitary units have already engaged in scattered, though extremely violent conflicts. We believe the paramilitaries are modifying civilian firearms, and the FBI's attempts to seize weapon stockpiles are too slow to stop gun runners. This could turn very bad very fast. And civil war? No? Alright. Maybe I'll be able to get rid of the Great Depression. Maybe. So I'm gonna go with the Democratic Party again. This time it's in Washington. That's... yeah, this one. Okay. So... yeah, okay, that's good. Did I misclick that? I don't think I did. What is this? Today, one of the titans of the industrial workers of the world, William Big Bill Haywood, has passed away. His death marks the passing of a torch. Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, Gurley? Her name is Gurley, spoke at the funeral saying, "History has a long-range perspective. It ultimately passes stern judgment on tyrants and vindicates those who fought, suffered, were imprisoned, and died for human freedom, against political oppression and economic slavery." Many other leaders within various union organizations, including his rivals in the AFL, also spoke at his funeral, as well as leaders within the Socialist Party of America. Jack Reed also spoke at the funeral, ending his speech with some of Haywood's quotes. "If the workers are organized, all they have to do is to put their hands in their pockets and they've got the capitalist class whipped." Okay. "A strike is an incipient revolution." What? "A strike is an incipient revolution. Many large revolutions have grown out of a small strike. Remember that you are fighting more than your own fight. You are fighting for the entire working class, and you must stand together." What is an incipient? A strike is an incipient revolution. I don't know what that means. I could Google it, I suppose, but I'm not going to. Let's see here. So construction is done. Do I get the oil unlocked? It just allows me to build the silos. My fuel capacity is enough. I don't really need this. Getting the doctrine. I guess I could go for artillery. Yeah, sure. Making them slightly better. I wanted to change that. Siam has a coup d'etat. Kingdom of Siam. There's nothing happening in the world apart from the oh yeah, they're also fighting Finland. Yeah, and also the Don-Kuban Union. This is Russia's way. They like to do at least 3 wars minimum. Okay. Let's see here. Southern Democrats complain. Although the coalition is showing signs of success, there is already some dissent from the various factions. The loudest voices belong to those of the Southern Democrats, many of whom are much more conservative and are facing stiff competition from the American First Party candidates. The coalition has been largely dominated by Northern Democrats and Republicans, with the progressives being the third wing of the coalition. We could try and force a compromise by promising to appoint Southern Democrats to the cabinet and other positions of power if we win. Of course, we could also ignore the protest and focus on winning the election instead. Yeah, let's get them in the cabinet. I don't want to risk that. What is it? A heat wave has struck the continental United States and Canada. The most severe heat wave in the modern history of North America. The Great Heat Wave started late June and went up over 100 Fahrenheit. 38. Damn. As drought conditions worsened due to a continued lack of rain. Now in July, the heat has reached all-time records. In Stella? North Dakota, temperatures have reached 50 degrees Celsius. Damn. In Ohio, temperatures have reached 43. Okay. This comes in a time of major political unrest, with the AFP a major force in Midwest politics, and so PA, and socialist and syndicalist forces gathering strength in the Great Lakes region, the drought is continuing, and over 3,000 reported deaths have been linked to it. Many people are suffering from heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Farmers across the continent saw their worst harvest on record, causing corn and wheat prices to skyrocket. And this heat wave does not seem to be giving up anytime soon. Yeah, it's just a shit show for America right now. But still, no civil war yet. Okay, 5 more days, and then we got this Industrial Act done. Mobile warfare. Alright, let's continue. Let's go with delay. At some point, I'm gonna have to start building tanks. Okay. As an offshoot of the Hawking Plan, relief efforts will see new industrial growth in several vital areas, primarily in the military sector. Several of these new companies are planned for Denver, Colorado. At least one other area can be promoted, and the cabinet believes that putting them in depressed areas, which are currently strongholds of the AFP or the SPA, may see their influence in those areas drastically weakened. So, Colorado, yeah, and then it's either Iowa or Tennessee. Let's try to weaken the SPA. There we go. Okay, and then we go with Shipyard Funding Scheme. 2 major shipbuilding companies are vying for federal relief funding, and the one we select could mean a large number of new jobs in the region. The trouble is, which one do we focus on? Alright. Just go with guns. For now. Interesting. We just got a bunch of factories from that. And construction speed was at what? Red summer. The summer heat has turned into violence and blood as cities, starting with Charleston, South Carolina, throughout the country engage in bloody racial riots as whites beat up blacks and burned black businesses. The number of lynchings that occurred throughout the country spiked during the summer. In response, the African Blood Brotherhood and other elements of the SPA and CSA have begun arming and fighting back. The Socialist Party of America have defended their actions and have furnished blurry photos they claim show AFP members in lynch mobs. Oh, beautiful! Let's get racist in here, shall we? Jesus. Alright. We're still in a political crisis, and this is going to keep going down if we keep getting these events. Yeah, every time I do one of these, I lose 50 political power. And there goes... Mongolia is trying to expand. Interesting. Disunity within the coalition. The Democratic and Republican parties have long been at odds since they came to national prominence. As we try to keep our coalition party together, that's important, a number of Democrats and Republicans have been getting into verbal shouting matches in Congress. While they are just minor members, the conflict could destabilize the whole coalition if it is allowed to spread. We can either come down hard on one side or try to force some kind of compromise by pressuring rabble-rousers to keep still until after the election. Side with Democrats, side with Republicans. Republicans would get 10. That would go from 9 up to 19, and we would probably lose a bunch. If we do... social liberals. Yeah, those are us. That's us who is in charge. This is market liberals and social conservatives. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. Force a compromise. I don't want to force the issue. If I force it, I feel that could just backfire. I mean, it's politics, right? If you try to force anything, somebody's gonna yell at you. Let's just side with the Democrats for now. We didn't even lose that much. They might have taken some percentages from the other dudes. Yeah, maybe. So we do this one and then we have we've dealt with the Great Depression. Beautiful. I don't know what happened to the music there, but it was gone for a second. I mean, right now we're not doing any combat because our nation is completely in shambles. But hopefully, if I can finish 2 more focuses, we can get back on track with rebuilding that. I'm not entirely sure how we get rid of this. This doesn't say it gets rid of political crisis. Liberia asks for aid. The Liberian government, crippled by the effects of Black Monday on top of their overwhelming national debt, has sent an envoy requesting the American government assist with a bailout. We have our own issues to deal with, but the amount they desperately need is small by comparison and will guarantee us a continued ally in Africa. Yeah, let's go ahead and help them out. It's gonna cost us political power, but fuck it. It's not like we need it right now. This is in Siam. I'm guessing they're having issues with their coup d'etat. I don't think it matters. Mongolia, Maklik. Ooh. More and more for me to read. Olson's nomination. In a massive rally in Sacramento with leading members from the Republican, Democratic, and Progressive parties, Senator Olson himself came out to accept his nomination as the coalition presidential candidate. This massive rally has been surprisingly well received by the press and those attending it. Hopefully, it can translate to election results. Cool. The shipyard funding scheme. The Hawking plan has led to 2 major shipbuilding companies vying for a federal contract. Yeah. So, New York or Corpus Christi in Texas. One of them, yeah, okay, so we have to... You guys have like 10... You're really weak. Yeah, let's try to give it to the APA. Yeah. The APA greatly gains political power. Sure. And then we go for demand repayment of war debts from Canada. And, ooh, Poland gets a king. That should be the end of the Great Depression then. We've got 83 days and this only takes 42. So, yeah, these are the only focuses we need to do. Beautiful. And I'm hoping this thing just goes away then. Completely goes away. And then we can deal with this one, I hope. German East Asia declared war on the Indo-Chinese Union. A lot of things are happening in Asia right now. Violence reaches the political theater. For some time, the violence has been mostly between the supporters of the radical parties. However, recently the violence is now reaching the candidates and politicians themselves. Failed attempts on the lives of both Huey Long and Jack Reed have occurred in the past few months. Both gunmen shooting from a crowd. Both failed, and both resulting in a higher security. Several more local politicians have been stabbed during a campaign rally. Moreover, voters from both extremes are turning a blind eye to the violence done to their enemies. Yay, great, more violence! Let's just get this thing here done, and then we can call it quits for this political episode of HOI4. Rebuilding is always such a pain in the ass, though, right? It's interesting, but that's why I like to change nations around. Because if I keep playing the same nations, I would go insane. Okay, let's see here. What's happening with Huey Long? The Democratic Party and the Republican Party were just like the old patent medicine drummer that used to come around our country. He had 2 bottles of medicine. He'd play the banjo and he'd sell 2 bottles of medicine. One of those bottles of medicine was called High Popolorum, and the other one of those bottles was a medicine called Low Poparium. Finally, somebody around there said, "Is there any difference in these bottles of medicines?" "Oh," he said, "considerable. They're both good, but they're different," he said. "That High Popolorum is made from the bark of the tree that we take from the top down, and that Low Poparium is made from the bark that we take from the root up. And the only difference that I found between the Democratic leadership and the Republican leadership was that one of them was skinning you from the ankle up and the other one from the ear down when I got to Congress." That is a really, really cool fucking way to... I don't know. That's cool. He's basically saying that it's the same shit, right? So the elections have not started, right? Yeah, they should be in November of this year. We haven't even gotten there yet. So we got October and then we got November left. The great heat wave is over. Nice. Okay. You can pause this and read it, but it's not that interesting. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is getting very, very important. Deal with the Great Depression. 50 days remaining, but I only need like 5? Yeah, 5 more days, and then this is done. And then you should be dealt with. Disunity within the coalition. Do we side with the progressives? Social liberals? Social democrats? Social conservatives? Let's just, yeah, side with the progressives. It's fine. We can decide with the other two parties that we're in a coalition with. It's fine. We already have the majority there. Belgian Declaration of Independence. Interesting. Okay. So this is done. Canada refuses. The Canadian government has responded to the demand with a flat refusal. The debt, they say, was never meant to be repaid until the home islands were retaken, as most was incurred by the United Kingdom, a government which is now in exile. Even so, their refusal has done its job and fired up the isolationist element of the American government. President Hoover's government has the support it needs at the cost of relations with the Canadians. Ooh, nice. Okay. So I can reconcile with them, or I can put tariffs on them. But apparently I can't really do anything other than do Navy stuff. I don't know. You guys tell me. Should I piss off the Canadians, or should we try to kiss and make up? What do you guys think? I mean, this gets me political power. But it might bite me in the long run. Like, if the Civil War happens and the Canadians help the wrong people, that could be horrible. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. But until then, see you. And thanks for watching.